they were last time around. The one key difference is this time Rare Adam have left the Twisted Fate open. So now if Doinb wants to go towards that option, have more impact on the map, that is always there. We have seen the Jinx Aphelios trade in the first 2 games.
We have.
I have no reason to expect that we would see something different, but we are going to see a bit of a pivot. LNG this time around respecting the presence that Corki has brought onto the Rift, and looks like they might actually be changing pace, wanting to leave light on something that can be more of an enabler with the curtain call, can safely sit by himself, throw out his W, throw out his Q, bam, minions are gone. And I think this works. Maybe set Ala up for a counter pick in top side later on. And then for LNG, you have a mid laner who can move, who also scales quite nicely, which is really great for Doinb, who I think is currently probably the best performing player on the team. And then enabling your top laner.
Please, something different. The Vex? Okay, Lyric. It's not going to be Victor. Ladies and gentlemen, Corki and Victor is not coming up this game. Instead, Strive wants to take onto the Vex, and you've talked a lot about the mid-game strengths of this champion and how you can navigate through team fights with the resets on ulti.
Oh, I think she's just so fun to watch, right? And to me, it does signal potentially more aggression coming out in this early mid-game with something like the Vex. Does hit that level 6 mark, does have a very easy access to move on the map. Again, I really don't think Vex has any terrible laning phases for champions that are in the meta. You can struggle against a lot of longer range mages, or even just off-meta picks like Morgana are pretty annoying. But up against the Corki, will be able to do what she wants. You're going to be able to push the wave early on. You're going to be able to move when you see fit. You have a lot of backline access with this champion. I love that they're enabling it with the Leona as well. But on the opposite side, they're like, yo, there's a bunch of immobile champions for Rare Adam. Tarzan, bring out the Jarvan.
Okay.
Tarzan listens to his coach.
So we get Jarvan in the end, so everything remains the same and pretty straightforward apart from the Vex so far. The fact that we've changed up a little bit, Lyric. Remember, we've got no jungler on the side of Rare Adam, and Leyan, with how the priority has been, kind of a big deal. They've already taken away the Viego, but what else do you need to take away from this jungler?
Ooh, I feel like that's a hard question when we're talking about Leyan, right? There's so many annoyances that can come out. I mean, a lot of the high-tier champions that we typically see in the jungle role are already gone.
True.
I mean, heck, with the fact that Rek'Sai's gone as well, means there really aren't too many options left. Heck, for RA's comp, there's nothing obvious that jumps out to mind unless you'd want to like go a bit further down in terms of something like maybe a Talon, which we've seen a little bit globally. We've had one game here in the LPL. I don't think something like Olaf would make a ton of sense into what LNG has picked. We've seen Udyr. I don't particularly care for Udyr, but it was pulled out against the Jarvan. Would function as a tank, but
I like the Nidalee ban. I like the Nidalee ban, especially since... Yeah.
I was going to say maybe something like the Talon would be what jumps out to me, but we will find out what Leyan wants to go for.
Because the fact is, like, Cube is a top lane player who we've seen things like the Renekton, which is already banned away, but something that could get help with setup. Nidalee getting banned away, and it continues to go down. Look at the jungle bans, guys. We've got 5 in total. LNG doing the finishing touches with that last one. Finally, as we see LNG coming into the second ban phase, I mean, mid lane support bans. We're going across the board. Doinb's already got his champion. They're looking towards Ala with that final one. And the Jayce going to be locked in instead before a Rare Adam even know their top laner.
Yeah, so with just Irelia being down, they say, screw it, let's just pick top lane now. They could have gone for support and save counter pick for top lane since Rare Adam have already shown Leona. But saying now, hey, nothing that RA can pick can beat up Jayce on the opposite side. You do have things like right now they're hovering the Graves. You always could even go into a tank matchup. We've seen things like the Scion and the Gragas be able to come out in these past few days. Can always go for Camille as well. So I think already have quite a few options for top lane. And we are going to see an assassin jungler. Not going to be the Talon, but we do get the Qiyana.
All right, everyone wake up. Victor would have put you to sleep, but we've got a Qiyana. For RA's final game to keep the win streak alive, don't flex it, Yone. Don't do that. Because that's giving us false hope. Something like the Gwen, though, we've seen as a safe pick into pretty much every top laner Lyric that we talked about. Forget this last pick of LNG. I don't care. It's a support. Walk me through. I might care a little more if it's that, but we know it's not going to be. LvMao hasn't done that in a while. Walk me through what this comp from Rare Adam does.
Oh, I think it's super fun to look at, right? first thing that jumps out to mind is just level 6. There is so much skirmishing power coming out from Qiyana, Leona, and Vex. They have a ton of AoE. We can see, you know, Leona ultimate into a supreme display of talent. Vex jumping in, multi-man fears. You have Jinx on the back line. You have Gwen buying space. I think RA's comp can definitely do a lot of work. For the side of LNG, they do have some of the more range to play with. Like you've been saying, we've been talking about range quite a bit. Corki, Jayce, Jhin open up the curtain call, but you also do have follow-up coming in from the Jarvan and the Nautilus. I think what this game is going to just come down to is if RA can find the angles. If you can find the angle for a supreme display of talent, it instantly just chains into so many other abilities. If you can lock numerous people down with the Solar Flare, again, Vex comes flying in. Multiple person fear into multiple person supreme re-engage coming out from your Nautilus and Jarvan.
Okay, well, that's an interesting point. Didn't consider how Jinx fits into it, but I'll be curious because this is a different draft. We finish off with a bang, and Leyan on this Qiyana. Lyric, that's first strike on a jungler Qiyana, and that is just great.
Yeah, it's something we've been seeing a little bit in solo queue. People have been running first strike on some of the assassin junglers for quite a bit. Of course, later on, right, you're going to be getting a pretty nice amount of the 10% extra true damage, and you're going to be converting a lot of that into, you know, massive amounts of money. First strike, even for laners, I think doesn't give you a whole lot of early game value. You know, sure, you're going to be getting the 5 gold here, the 5 gold there, but a lot of the big money and the big damage is going to come out once you get some items under your belt. So, Leyan, following through with what we are seeing a lot of in solo queue.
So coming into this game, Lyric, I want a focal point because coming back to lanes as well, level 6 feels like a really important mark for RA, and even so, you know, we talk about the package a lot with Corki, you know, Cataclysm for Tarzan as well, Light with the curtain call. Is it around these neutrals that we start pulling the game into its reins a bit, or is it going to be slower than I expect?
For the side of LNG, actually for both teams, I think you have a decent amount of options to be able to find early. Tarzan, we can already see making his way towards top side right now. Definitely ganks it up, available onto Cube. Get your Jayce in a good position. I think primarily LNG do have quite a bit of kill potential down in the bot lane as well. So you're looking at side lanes earlier for them. For RA, we already hit on. It's kind of a bit more about mid-jungle, once again, coming out for Leyan and Strive. I think RA's comp is one that definitely needs level 6 a lot more than LNG. LNG at level 3, you have the EQ from Jarvan, you can start setting up ganks right away. Leyan, gonna want to be full clearing till about level 6, get some good levels under his belt, supreme display of talent, Vex will start being able to move, and everything will be looking good.
Alright, well, I'll be looking forward to that because especially we've seen Vexes in the LPL so far. These ultis have been big team fight initiations, and I haven't seen the combination with this Qiyana, but Lyric, you were just saying something about this, and with the exhaust down as well, with the flag and drag, the flash forward on top of Strive, Tarzan unfortunately doesn't get the knock-up. Doinb using a summoner of his own, and a 1-for-2 summoner trade means Strive is low and backed out.
Strive thinking he feels safe, hover towards top side. Tarzan might find Leyan.
Alright, the flag and drag missing a second time here. Leyan just pivots his way out. Once again, this Jarvan means business, and Tarzan's a busy boy.
Yeah, we also got to remember Qiyana in early levels, not too strong in terms of 1v1 dueling.
Yeah.
Ooh, does find the knock-up.
I think Leon's going to find that. Audacity gets out through the wolves. Not going to take any. Tarzan's just whittling them away. Smite down, and look at this. Leon gets beaten to a pulp just for existing within that realm.
Even really nice by Tarzan. Clears his bot side jungle, wraps around to gank from top side, where another potential 2v2 kill.
Well, flashes away. The cleanse burnt as well. That's double summoners for absolutely nothing but walking into a bush for light.
Yeah, so ultimately LNG's bot lane losing out, but like I was just highlighting, right? Really unexpected gank coming out towards the mid lane. Strive having pressure, trying to push in Doinb, but they punish him. Because of that, Doinb has prio, can help move. But now I need to stop talking about that because already just want to keep doubling down on this bottom lane.
It's a good ward, though. It's going to be lensed out, so Leyan clears it, but they spot him out. That gives the information for LNG's bot to just slowly back away. For now, Leyan will back himself. So level 3 on the Qiyana. Note that Tarzan did pick up the camp on the enemy top side. Nothing really to take for Leyan there. Tarzan still mid-red, so Lyric, junglers keeping neck and neck for now. The only lane that looks quite impactful is that bottom lane for iBoy, as he's 10 CS ahead. I could even say topside. Cube doing the same to the Jayce in the early levels.
To be fair to Ala, he is picking up a bit of a wave right now, so might still be a few CS behind, but he did go for his recall first, allowed for Cube to push out, so it is about even. Even picking up the triple longsword. He's going to come back to lane, try and put down a bit of pain onto Cube. Like you said, though, it's all about this bottom lane so far. Nautilus usually is able to do decent things in early laning phase. It's once a few more levels get under your belt. Leona is when you get a bit tankier and it becomes a bit awkward. You hook in a Leona, has more base stats than you, has a bit more damage. So RA can just keep looking to index into this strength, especially with the fact that we're getting pretty close to the level 6 point, right? Strive literally needs like 2 minions of XP and he's level 6. Leyan, though, still a decent bit away.
Yeah, level 4 here. Tarzan a step closer as they're both resetting and coming back out. I'm looking across the board. Significant items that picked up. We got a serrated Dirk from Leyan, so expect that burst damage to follow suit. And he mentioned that Strive, you know, he's backing. He's got to pick up a couple of minions. When he does return, Dark Seal, Amplifying Tome, and those ultis that we talked about around the Dragon Lyric, around the Rift Herald. I need some heavy blood in this final game because there is no way I am finishing today without absolute banging team fights from both these teams. I swear, if we go to LEC, guys, without seeing this combo in action, I don't know. I don't know what we can do, Lyric, but we'll find out.
Ooh, well, we might see something. LvMao is here. No supports on the opposite
anything.
sides. Actually, all of LNG.
Oh, Leyan in trouble. No ulti available. The flag and drag perfect this time. Leyan at half health from one combo. At least he's able to trade some damage out on Tarzan while LvMao making the roam puts pressure in the top side.
And all of LNG roamed over, if you notice the minimap. They pushed in bot wave. Light hovered near mid-tower.
Oh, no.
Luckily, he's able to get away. But Light hovered near mid-tower just in case something did broke out, that they would have 5 men towards the top half of the map. Now able to move back safely. RA trying to catch him out back in transition down towards bottom lane. Sadly, they aren't able to. And it looks like LNG just trying to set up a bit of vision top side for Ala to be able to play the way he wants. Look for a lot of these aggressive trades. And like you were saying, the next thing we're going to be looking at is if either team wants to pivot down towards an early dragon.
That's all. It's a good knockback, but Ala still should have the movement speed to get out of there. Cube missing the last piece of needlework, or rather the second. Goes back to the wave and no teleport available, so Ala will have to walk to lane, but Lyric again, Dragon taking and spawn of Rift Herald going to be the exact same time. We're 7 minutes into the LPL without first blood. Getting me a little bit shocked, but those ultimate periods that we talked about very closely behind. Level 7 on Strive, so he's well and truly there, but Leyan about to hit level 6 from my understanding, with Tarzan doing the same.
Still, though, Doinb going to be coming up close to that Corki package timer. You already see pings coming out for RA around the Rift Herald.
Yep.
So it looks like they just want to concede. They have bot lane that pushes first, so they will be able to move up first towards the top half of the map. I wonder if they're going to keep Gwen up towards top side as well. Cube actually is going to head there, and they're going to pivot. They're going to keep their bot lane in lane. They go answer the wave that looks like Light and LvMao actually just cleared out themselves. So really nothing to catch for the side of RA. Oh, I'm totally wrong. There is a wave to catch.
There is. Big one. So opposite way around. Nothing for Light and LvMao to do as they start moving down. Package in hand, Lyric. And those ultimates, I'm getting ready for it. Leyan and Strive, those are two I'm going to be watching for this next one. Tarzan with the Cataclysm and where Doinb lines that package. So jungle 2v2 Lyric seems pretty important in this one.
Oh, I think it's going to be a lot more than jungle 2v2, right? We can already even see LvMao hovering over towards the mid lane. Zorah is here as well. For LNG, they will be able to walk through mid. Looks like RA do have pressure top, though, to potentially threaten with Cube. But Ala actually might be pushing him off. So LNG, full river control on their side. Everyone is already here first. Doinb able to poke people off with his rockets and still holding on to that package. So I just don't think RA should have a chance to enter. We're going to be keeping our eyes on Leyan like we talked about with that supreme display of talent.
But that ward in the pit, there's no control ward. It's too far to the right, so they have full vision of the HP bar. Leyan with that ulti, as we talked about, his package is laid down. He can get in over the wall. Ala's joined in, but the repositioning from Cube. Herald getting low. Here's Leyan to clear out the control ward. The eye exposed as well. LNG now in a pickle. If they get ulted here, Leyan with the ulti himself, he's stolen the Herald too. It's a quick reset. Doom and gloom at the ready. Strive's done his job. He's got a reset. He hit Light. He'll follow up as well. LNG get outclassed by the rare Adam.
Super fun to see this comp in action. We hit on it. If one person can hit one of these defining abilities, it sets up a chain effect for the other abilities to easily be able to follow. Leyan going in with the supreme display of talent, securing the Rift Herald, Strive following in, RA getting the objective, and RA having complete pressure on the map. Look, they're already pivoting down towards bot side, still covering in top lane. RA just coming out the big winners, almost 2k gold advantage.
Off of one big play. This is what you want to see. Leyan with a nice steal lyric, and I feel like that ward from RA is kind of MVP.
Yeah, let's see how all of this starts. I want to see if Leyan goes in. Okay, so Zorah with the flash to take down LvMao and instantly in. The other members feel like have to back off. We do have a supreme display of talent hit. And then Strive just able to follow up with the ulti, does land the multi-man fear because we are just in very close-knit spaces. And then for RA, able to pick up a few kills. LNG, though, going to be able to use the tempo from the previous play for the fact that RA, certain members, like I believe it was Leyan, did still stay topside to help push out the wave. Allows for Tarzan to get bot first and for LNG to pick up the dragon.
Well, RA for this game number 3. Still a brilliant start. A kill onto the Qiyana. Lyric, Leyan has a Youmuu's Ghostblade. So that first item completed onto Summoner's Rift. I'm looking across the board. Man Immune, yes, also there, but Ghostblade feels very impactful for a jungler who's now 1,000 gold up on his counterpart. And while Strive might not be the same amount on top of Doinb, in fact, he's down a little bit of gold. Those 2 assists net the lost chapter here, Lyric, and 2 stacks onto the Dark Seal. Strive in a very good position, and the mid-jungle 2v2 that we talked about being important for LNG, also just as important for Strive and Leyan into this early game.
And for Leyan now, going to be looking to get some agency in this top side. One thing we need to remember about LNG's composition, it is super squishy, so Leyan will be getting a ton of value with any member he decides to jump on. Looks like they're going to try and bait Ala into an aggressive position, find a kill, and then drop Herald down for some plates.
Woohoo, peekaboo! Supreme display of talent. The burst damage to Youmuu's Ghostblade showing up in cubes. Like, man, I'm not going to throw my needles out. Not this time, Leyan. You know, you did your work.
Yeah, so they realized that there was potential movement coming in, I think especially from mid lane. Doinb not showing on the wave anymore, as well as even LvMao was leaving from mid, so a lot of potential people who could be up towards top side. So Cube does not want to overextend for the side of LNG. Now that they counter-react in top, looks like they want to push deep to get vision around bot side, set up for Jhin to do well, and for Doinb to keep farming. Dragon's still not up for another 3 minutes, so we're going to see if LNG can potentially find a pick off this vision.
For Jhin to do well, Lyric, I just noticed he needs to do well because he's 30 CS down. Light is 1,100 gold down from iBoy. Picked up a kill on that last fight. He's almost got his completed item, but that is huge. Like, that's beyond massive and super significant for this early game.
And we got to remember that a lot of it just comes from early trading, forcing out light summoners in those early levels to where the CS advantage was able to start building. So maybe we need to pay more attention to this.
Okay,
I think Doinb should be able to get away.
Well, we'll
see.
No,
he's not getting away.
Well, exhausted out. He might actually get the kill. He might actually get the kill here, Lyric. Leyan goes invisible for the time being. Minions being winning at the moment, but Cube's there with the Valkyrie over the wall. Cube and Needlework go together hand in hand. He's dead, but Leyan almost taken with him. So another good kill here, this time to the top laner. As Herald was about to time out, Leyan had to put it down, and it's going top.
He was able to buy a lot of time, but sadly just not much LNG are able to do with that time spent. Their bot lane was already headed towards the mid lane. Jayce still up towards top side. No neutral objectives up that you can turn this into. They are going to drop the Herald down. Other members are following through, so Alice shouldn't just be able to clear this, or he might get punished.
Yeah, nice little Rift Herald here, but pushed against the wall. Zorah picks up that kill, but Leyan, he's taken charge here, Lyric. 100% kill participation with 100 CS at the 13-minute mark.
And this is what we wanted, right? We had game 1 and 2. Like, I'm just slow. There's some team fightings. There's lots of mistakes. Come into this game, we get some banging picks. We get some action out of the gates. Is it maybe 15 kills in 14 minutes? No, but not every LPL game needs to be like that. We're still getting we're getting some nice decisive decision making coming out from Leyan. Goes in here, hits a supreme display of talent, did flash in to be able to close the range. Cube is here. And looks like for Ala, just didn't expect the members to be pivoting forward. I can see why as well with where the Rift Herald was dropped and the fact that no one walked forward with it. Just thinking, hey, they dropped this, maybe this is about the timeout. Let's get this one off. And they punished him for thinking that.
Well, it's a big game from RA. Look at the gold lead. 4,000 gold at 14 minutes. LNG without a kill to their name, without a turret to their own name. This is a team that's running Doinb, Tarzan, Arla, Light and LvMao on the team now, and well, LvMao especially. And bots getting gapped. There's a 40 CS lead again. We talked about it. Light walking into that brush hurt him so much. Doinb the only person on their team with a CS lead, and now for LNG, the plays there. They might find Zorah their first kill of this game. Important Sulfur comes on down, and Curtain Call on top with it. RA coming back in. Tarzan blown up too. iBoy gets reset, but he's front lining here in front of a Nautilus. LvMao, is he going to go back in, or is he just going to die? So Mega Death Rocket was already used as a flash available as well. Leyan, ulti has been burnt, and the fact that RA traded Lyric is just showing how big they are in this game.
And RA are still going, right? They're still threatening. The no health bars are low. Potentially going to see if they can look for a cheeky kill on the way out. Nope, they are just going to opt into taking away camps. Dragon is still available. I wonder if RA will go for this, or if they're going to think, hey, LNG are already coming off their timers from base. This one can be a little bit risky. Looks like LNG actually might just opt into trading towards topside.
Okay, so Dragon for Dragon at the end of the day. There's going to be an Ocean picked up here, so we roll into the other four. Let's find out. Chemtech? No, it's never a Chemtech soul. It's always one of the boring souls. Chemtech soul has not existed. We got a Hextech soul a couple of times today. I don't know, right? Maybe don't want us to get Chemtech. They know how good it is, and they're not going to give it over.
Ooh, I wonder if RA are actually going to posture to contest. They are keeping their Jinx down in bottom lane, but still the other members are just floating around Herald. You know, one thing you made me realize thinking about this, when you look at LNG, you're like, okay, you have two people that have won LPL, one who has won Worlds, and 3 other members who've all been to Worlds. Then you look at RA and you're like, Leyan's been to Worlds. I guess Leyan is technically won an LPL, I believe, as well. If 2019 spring, I believe he was listed as a sub, if I'm not incorrect.
I don't think he was, actually. I think it was still only Ning. I think.
Oh, you're
Leyan
right. He was introduced.
Oh,
he was introduced in summer. As,
bye. Yeah, wave. Everybody wave to Arla.
Oh, only iBoy and Leyan have any level of accolades, right? Any level. iBoy's won LPL. iBoy's been to Worlds. Leyan has been to Worlds. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's still some experience, right? And iBoy's also.
But the drastic difference in experience. RA should not be the team that is expected to come in strong with so many new players. Tarzan going in, though.
Well, good flash out. There's no way to lock him down, but the Herald at least coming down towards mid-turret, and that's going to get something good. This will open up the first turret for LNG and Lyric. Get 5,000 gold behind as we stand right now. Objective gold given over. And we go down to 4,000. This is great for LNG considering how far behind the curve they were and how much that Jhin needed gold. How much the Corki as well wants to be ahead. LNG just needed something, and they finally got it.
And for LNG, I feel like we're really going to be waiting for the points where they are grouping up, maybe have a bit of vision control down, can throw these accelerated shock blasts from Fog of War, chain them with some rockets coming from Doinb, then see what their comp really can do when put together. For RA right now, having decent push in mid, going to make their way towards topside. Looks like get a bit of vision down. And now we're just kind of looking to see where Leyan plays. I would expect him to continuously play with Strive. I feel like they do just have so much burst between that setup. Potentially just constantly look to punish the Jayce and find advantages through that between intervals for Dragons and Barons.
That's what you talked about in draft. I wanted to see him play with Leyan, Strive and Leyan, the duo as well. Some of those go triggers that are going to be massive. And then you also pulled out the point that iBoy, when even we go mid to late, and I was talking about range, you mentioned the fact that, well, I mean, iBoy's a Jinx. iBoy's already got the rapid fire cannon. And with the Jinx, he's going to be able to do a lot of work at that period as well. Leyan's actually over the wall. It's a sneak attack on Arla. He flashes, and Leyan's got his number and will not leave him alone. This just opens up bot, though, Lyric, as Arla burns that summoner, and RA fully committing while Cube's defending topside away from the rest of LNG.
Let's remember that LNG are still the team picking up the objective bounties, though. So still, this gold lead kind of going back and forth. Still about 4K now that RA did just pick up that last tower. But going back to your point about Jinx, right? Sure, things like the accelerated shock blast or the rockets will outrange her. But for iBoy, you find one reset, and you are 100% in the fight, just completely blasting everyone. And with champions like Vex, Gwen, and Qiyana, I feel like it shouldn't be too hard for iBoy to find one initial reset to allow him to weave in and out of the fight and put out as much DPS as he needs.
Especially with Gale Force, right? That itemization quite smart considering of what they want to do with that composition. So weaving in and out becomes a little bit easier as the BF Sword now picked up for iBoy as well. Third item territory on the way. Second for the Vex with a Hextech Alternator and a stopwatch to buy some more time too. Eclipse has been picked up by Leyan, Lyric, and this 2-item Qiyana has already been bullying some of the members of LNG. It's a really hard game right now, and 20 minutes in, the fact that we're in this series saying, oh, LNG now look like the underdogs to win this game. They now look like the team that haven't been better in this series is kind of crazy when, again, RA were my 10th best team, and even people said, you're silly. You're silly for putting them that high.
I was one of those people that said that, honestly.
Yeah.
But they've come in. They've looked strong. Even now, right, both their side lanes are already pushed out, so all 5 members know they can go straight towards Dragon. They're clearing out some vision, trying to give Leyan an angle where he can find a massive flank from and set the rest of the team up for success. Luckily for the side of LNG, if they pivot into the river and Leyan walks the other way, there is a ward down there, so he might get spotted out. Is spotted out now.
Yep, as he clears it away. Good poke damage onto Zorah. Dragon's about to spawn the first mountain here. Second dragon for either of these teams. LNG going towards the grass here. And Leyan now goes into the mainstream river. He needs to smite this down quickly. They're bursting it down. It's gone. Smite comes through. I'm not sure if it was in time or not, but Zorah actually going all the way in. He'll regret that one, Lyric, as Doinb makes him chase for it. RA now with the numbers disadvantage. They've gotten the dragon. They have to get out of there. Strive isolating the river. Actually, Leyan going over, playing with fire. I love it. The fact he's willing to go over with 3 members is very ambitious, especially after they secured Dragon at the end of the day.
RA just know right now that they are definitively stronger than the members of LNG if they can find the fight. So I understand Zorah trying to find the Zenith Blade. Unfortunately, Doinb jumps right as he does that, so he just gets pulled further from his team in the middle of 5 members and goes down. But RA just really trying to take advantage of their power spike here. We're going to see they go in on the Dragon. They did a pretty nice job of keeping them away with Leyan zoning them out at first. Eventually moves to the Dragon. Flashes in with the E right as the package comes down. And just not enough time or too much distance for the other members to be able to react. And we're going to see Leyan jump back in and jump right back out.
It's kind of like what we saw with
Oh, we got a Baron start. Let's go.
We do. LNG have got their jungler nearby, though. So this is going to be a 50-50 Lyric if they want to keep bursting it down. Teleport in the back end. They're poked down as well. And Doinb is just locking them clean. Supreme display of talent is pretty decent as iBoy gets the first kill. It's onto the supports. LvMao and Zorah like going in and dying. But the poke is too much and Leyan gets low. It may be a pick off, but it was a Baron start that's now been denied by LNG.
Still, I mean, for RA, you got a TP out of it, and you got another kill. I think overall, very worth for them. Even more items coming out now with the Cosmic Drive coming out onto Cube. And I believe Leyan's ultimate hits 2 people. I think it hits LvMao, and I think Ala walks into it as he starts to walk up. We're going to see LvMao try to go in. The rest of his team kind of zoned off. The TP from Jayce not even finished yet. Doinb not in really a position where he can follow through.
Go again.
Gives his life.
You ready? Are you ready, Lyric? We're going to do it once again. Leyan almost caught out. Curtain Call going to be used up. Zorah is blocking for the team right now. Light hit, absolutely no shots. But Strive on the wing. This Vex is ready to go on in. And look, I'd be scared if I was the enemy team. It's all about that Shadow Surge and getting the resets. You've talked about it yourself. Supreme display of talent, not on the longest cooldown anymore. And RA just positioned from top side river to bottom side river. They're moving around and they're kind of like a roaming gang squad.
Ooh, yeah, even punishing for
Doinb.
this potential blue buff right now.
Is he caught out? Goes into the ulti once again. Solarflare locks him down. iBoy! Nice snipe, and here we go. The Shadow Surge has been hit. LvMao's going to come out of stasis and right into a Vex who brings depression on top of him. A double kill comes through. LNG have lost core members again, Lyric, and this time I think it's going to go further.
And we hit on it before, right? The way that they're chaining things together.
Is Ala dead? I think iBoy, yep.
Tarzan.
Okay, well, Ala's dead, and on the other side, Leyan's going to die, so maybe that's not Baron. Who knows? At this point, Lyric, shenanigans are starting to happen.
Yes, the gold lead, surprisingly, is not growing for either side. Cube going to try and find some more punishment RA should potentially be able to, they will be able to get a mid lane turret off this. The wave is just coming up right now. And again, RA at least are coming out ahead in every single skirmish so far. iBoy is absolutely massive. Feels like Leyan's the one setting him up. And man, this first clip, I love how we said it. It's all about chaining things together, linking things together, following the CC. Hits a supreme display of talent. Instantly coming through is the rocket from
the
iBoy. Yep.
MVP.
And then LvMao, of course, getting caught up as well. And then this is where I want to see how Leyan gets picked off. We know Tarzan ults in. Okay, iBoy's going to kill Ala off to the side. And, oh, okay, Leyan jumps out to the right, away from his team. Sets up for LNG to be able to pick him off. But hey, you did just get some flashes out of it.
Yeah.
Both Light and Tarzan flashing for that kill.
You got flashes, but also RA weren't able to pick up the Baron because their jungle was dead. And you said the gold lead didn't grow whatsoever. So those summoners I'll take for the time being, Lyric. But Dragon's coming up in 35 seconds. I wonder what happens next because Doinb, that package, I believe it's in the base, ready and available. He doesn't have teleport, so for Doinb, base timing now, 25 seconds. Baron there too. iBoy not going to get close enough to stop it with the zap. And Lyric, remember that RA is still massive. I mean, 6-0-1 is this Jinx. iBoy has 3 items and then some. And I thought this game was all about Leyan and Strive, but no, iBoy has hit that late game point very early.
Also, though, LNG putting a lot of pressure on right now. I like what they're doing here. Because they know RA is going to go straight to Dragon, they're taking complete control of topside. They're threatening that they can do Baron. They're putting damage down onto this bottom lane turret, and they might find a pick.
They have. They got the dredge line onto Zorah. He's going to go golden, but Doinb still with the package. If anyone's in there, they're going to die alongside with them. Solar Flare wasted as LNG get a crucial pick, as you're saying, Lyric. This will be topside turret. This will be the threat on Baron. And that's catch-up gold once again. Look at the gold lead. It's only 1,500 after all that. Comeback gold. Objective bounties are pretty crazy.
I'm going to say I'm very surprised. Not that I necessarily think they should have started Baron there, but just knowing the LPL, I feel like that was a very clear, like, hey, we got a kill. We're topside. Let's just start Baron angle. Sadly, LNG don't fall for the obvious LPL angle, are just going to come back out of the map with some tempo. They did get a bunch of gold, right? They got a kill, they got a turret, they got objective bounties coming through, so trying to reestablish some control topside. They do already have some vision in the enemy jungle, but clearing away some of RA's wards would be quite nice, making it hard for them to walk into river, and again, just consistently zoning them out with some of these Corki missiles and setting up for a potential dredge line from LvMao to catch out any face checkers.
Just noticed as well, Doinb with 3 items, when you're talking about the missiles, Death's Dance as a 3rd item, I don't think I've seen all too often, Lyric. Like, it is Doinb though. So, you know.
Do you expect anything else coming out from him?
No.
I mean, the side of RA has a lot of burst coming out, right? He's clearly very conscious of the Qiyana on the opposite side. Is this probably the best and most efficient item here? Probably no way, right? I don't know. Someone can go do the math, but I don't care about math right now. We care about Baron because Rare Adam doing Baron.
Double flip, curtain call, Lyric, look at the burst. Oh my god! RA just gonna smite it down. And close to Doinb taking the damage, but it was a good smite in the end. Leyan picks that one up. Baron goes through. And for a moment, I thought that Doinb did enough damage with his missile, but he does not. And LNG once again fall behind. The Baron denied.
Yeah, and for RA, I mean, another massive win for them, right? They can start grouping up, trying to use, probably playing out through 2 lanes. I don't expect you're going to be playing out through all 3. A lot of, I'd say, long-range threat coming from things like Jarvan, like the Corki. Luckily, no curtain call up for now. For LNG, though, we've said this all day. There's such an annoying amount of wave clear in this meta. Luckily, LNG's comp only has Corki. It's not Corki Jinx like it's been all day on one side.
Are we replaying what happened during the Baron? Did Tarzan just get scuttle crab during Baron or something? I don't know. RA actually face checking this with only 2 members, but it's Leyan. That means you have a Vex nearby too. RA poking through Lyric, and it's not even Dragon time yet, not even Soul Point. Excuse me, Soul time, that's burst. Supreme display of talent once again, all in for the Vex, the Doom and Gloom. Look at Strive on the right wing on top of Doinb, but Doinb survives for now, goes golden, and there you go, the Soul will be picked up. Strive, he has a reset too. And for RA Lyric, that pick is going to open up a lot of windows. Hits once again, Strive not going to go in because Light is way too far back. He'll pull off as RA with the Baron start doing some damage to try and make this game 3 a reality.
And I mean, the Corki's down, right? The Corki was the biggest damage dealer. Still, Ala will put off a lot of damage, but way more cooldown reliant with the accelerated shock blast rather than those rockets that you're pretty much spamming every second.
They're going for the end.
Yeah, RA are looking for it.
I mean, for iBoy, look at the range here. 5 versus 4. It's going to be a big moment if they can finish it here.
You don't have any way of starting a fight. You're relying on LNG coming into you. You don't have Leona here. You don't have Supreme Display of Talent. RA shouldn't be able to find anything. It looks like they will be pushed away now. Maybe they were just hoping LNG runs into them.
Well, Zorah was dead.
Classical.
So that makes a lot of sense. It wasn't actually a 5 versus 4. It was only a 4 versus 4. But you're right. Brainwashing would have been nice, wouldn't it? So, Lyric, game doesn't end. It continues on. Inhibitor open in the bottom side. And once again, we go to that point where we're like, well, RA should win this game realistically as we look at the replay.
Yeah, I believe it was Leyan who starts this one off, instantly goes onto blue and just chains it into a Supreme Display of Talent onto the members of LNG. Strive instantly flashing over the wall to be part of the fight to try and get onto Doinb. They do. He's instantly bursted out, and they're able to turn that into that bot lane push where they did pick up an inhibitor. So RA right now, Soul Point Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. All ults are available.
Yeah, they are. And look at the poke already coming through. I'd be scared right now because Doinb has another package. 20 seconds until this soul is given to RA, but LNG need to stop it. It's a Mountain Soul against a Corki, a Jhin, a Jayce. Gonna deny quite a lot, Lyric, and you can see already that RA have been poked down for the side of this fight. Tarzan goes in. Zorah is face checking right now, or at least blocking, but look at Leyan. Leyan in the perfect angle for his Supreme Display of Talent as he's spotted out. Tarzan zoning him, even despite being 2 levels behind. He's a front line. Doinb level 16 with the package, Lyric. And I'm waiting for it. Dragon's going to start for now. Doinb trying to poke them down. The big one's a massive package over the top. But Jarvan gets it in the
Tarzan
end.
Gets it.
Tarzan with the steal. Could have saved the game for LNG. RA's members are dying, but iBoy needs to be the target in the backline. He's hitting away. Gwen doing the same. But LNG, this is their way back into the game. Doom and gloom. Never mind that. Doinb goes on down. Light survives into the backline as well. No game-ending play for now, but the minions are going to do it for them. Even being denied Mountain Soul.
Still, LNG, massive find for them. The coordination on the collapse to be able to get into the pit. Tarzan stealing away the dragon is so huge. iBoy trying to make things happen, but it wasn't able to come to fruition. I'm really excited to see the replay, see what happened in terms of like Leyan's Supreme Display of Talent, how many members got locked down, because, I mean, this is just a bit of a mess with every member of LNG kind of just jumping in at the same time. Instantly CCing Leyan down. His Supreme Display of Talent's only on the little rock wall in the middle of Dragon. iBoy stays at a safe distance, but the fact that 2 of RA's members are already down, I feel like makes iBoy's life impossible here. Strive and Cube trying to turn this one around, but still, the damage dealers are just too big. No cooldowns left open, and ultimately, LNG gets the Dragon. RA, though, did get one of the Nexus turrets.
They did indeed.
What's
through
the
minions.
bigger win?
Well, Lyric, I think denying the Mountain Soul is big enough for now because
Is definitely the bigger win.
yeah, okay, good. I was just wondering. I don't know if you knew something I didn't because with the game going on, 3.5 minutes till that Dragon comes up again, but Baron's up in a minute, and you need to now give me the lowdown whether this is as RA favored as I was saying it was before.
I think there will definitely be a pretty decent difference if RA can force a fight relatively soon, because you have no package. Even then, right, Leyan was so focused on trying to be able to get the smite on the Dragon. I think RA's comp definitely is favored if they are opting into a turn situation rather than just trying to 50-50 objective, right? You have so much turn potential coming out from RA's champions. Zorah sets up so many opportunities. Leyan we've already hit on. Strive we've already hit on. There's just so many different ways to start a fight for RA. I think you should be looking to bring LNG in and just look for the turn for the fight.
Well, RA channeling down the mid lane for now. Let's see if RA start it on their terms. Leyan waiting in patience. Doinb's walking into him as well. A big one thrown out as he runs away. That Baron in 3 seconds, folks, and RA have full priority vision control nailed down as they clear out for LNG. Tarzan moving into position, and this time he's nearby. As Baron's going down mighty fast too. I mean, this is going to have to be a pretty quick move from LNG.
Yeah, and look at Strive. Strive's waiting on the flank. LNG going to try and dish out some of the poke that we were seeing before with Corki and Jayce.
Curtain calls onto the back line. It's stolen. Tarzan's got it again. The second steal in a row. Strive still waiting with the Shadow Surge, but they do absolutely nothing. LNG get a free Baron And you know what? Tarzan is suddenly redeemed.
Tarzan is living in Leyan's head rent-free. This is the time where you see if you can sub Junja in mid-game, but LNG now might just be able to push, maybe even take an inhibitor off this. They have, like, pretty nice poke coming out on their side. A lot of ults are down for rare. Adam, we talked about how key those ultimates are for them to find winning skirmishes.
And that poke's starting to look even more deadly. Dragon in a minute third, but the Baron's going to do its own work. And Lyric, that's going to get us to a point where we get maybe the 5th Corki item. We finish off that 3rd item for Jarvan as well. Up in the top lane, we're heading towards 5th, and we'll watch again because Tarzan, that's back-to-back steals right when it counts.
Yeah, gets in there, is able to get the smite off. No smite coming out from Leyan. Leyan's supreme display of talent not able to do much. LNG already able to get the hell out of there. And now you're stacked up, so many members having this Baron buff. Gold is finally back to even. It's been sitting about 1 to 2k in RA's favor now for probably the last 10 or so minutes of the game. And now it's going to come down to a dragon fight that potentially could just decide the ending of the game. Like, the game, I would expect that this fight does determine who wins. The fact that LNG is Baron, if they pick up, they could definitely look for the ending push. Even for the side of RA, right, you have an open lane bot that you can look to end through as well. So we're going to see now, Hysteric.
All right, well, package has just been picked up from Doinb in the base as well. Note he has a QSS for the supreme display of talent. As Doinb rides on in, Leyan spotted out on the wing. He's got his Edge of Night up and available to avoid a lot of this poke that LNG have been throwing out. Cube as well dodging away. Look at LNG. Lyric, they can just run it down mid with the Baron and make it so Dragon's not even in the question anymore.
Yeah, I mean, especially the fact that Doinb sells the package, right? Can easily zone them off with that giant AoE. And they're still just going to poke them out while they're trying to walk in.
Solar Flare's there as well. Doinb still with the W up and available. Package in hand as we talked about. Curtain call coming through. If Zorah goes down, this could be even further as he has to get behind someone. iBoy blocks the last piece of damage. But Baron's there for the next 40 seconds. LNG trying to big brain this. RA is spread all over. And now back to the Mountain Dragon is Leyan, the target focus. Strive in Fog of War as well. We're looking for that Shadow Surge as LNG are going to suddenly get priority thanks to the package.
Yeah, LNG going to start this one off. They got to be careful, though. We're going to 50-50 the objective once again.
Gone. Leyan had flash, but didn't get vision in time. There's a TP on the backline. Cube looking for the flank. The Gwen over the wall. But I think he pressed E, but he ran into it. He didn't get it. RA have used the TP as well, and that's now 2 objectives in the span of a very short amount of time. Soul point reached. LNG in a game that it felt like they had no business being in with RA's early to mid-game dominance.
And it looks like LNG are going to start getting ready for a topside push. Going to take away some camps. They already have some vision down. You can have Light start catching that top wave now. And get in a position to where once recalls come out, you can start looking to push down that top lane inhibitor turret.
True. Well, Lyric, with such a long night, it's coming up 2 a.m. in Australia, and I tell you one thing, this will be a way to finish it out if LNG are able to pull off what would seem to be the impossible. Again, for RA, big moments here for the roster that looked like a downgrade, and it's gotten to this point where it's one final fight, 38 minutes in. Baron in 2 minutes 20, but we're still fighting around this angle. And, you know, it's a great way to finish off the Saturday because before people go into LEC, they get to watch super late game Corki, super late game Qiyana, and the Vex
also
as well.
Also look at iBoy.
And
iBoy's 100 CS up.
He's huge.
On Light right now.
We got a double
7-1
Flame Horizon. There's a Flame Horizon in the top lane. There's a Flame Horizon in the bottom lane. It's not often that happens.
And there's 2 half Flame Horizons in mid and jungle.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay.
Oh, okay, observers showing us some wards. Cheeky. Ala does have TP available.
That's true, but both Nexus turrets are available. Mid-wave, not there for now. And yes, we're going to focus on the wards, but they're about to expire. About a flank? Maybe. But Doinb doesn't have package up and available. It's 1:30 until the Baron. Soul point has been reaching. The Soul's coming up in 3 minutes for one of these teams. The Mountain Soul could be the difference between life or death in this next fight. And we're getting to absolutely insane farm territory. We thank you for sticking around with us for so long. I mean, Lyric, again, we've had best of threes reach its climax in both of the series we've casted. We've gone for 3.5 hours times 2, which is 7, for 2 series. It's been a long one.
Yeah, and this one still trucking forward. I want to point out, okay, RA trying to find engage. RA do have a bunch of Zhonya's hourglasses. They have a GA, they have a stopwatch on Leyan. So they could potentially survive something like an initial engage to come out from LNG and look for the re-engage. Summoners pretty much up across the board on both sides. So it's really just going to come down to that individual playmaking and setup that both teams have to find the fight that they need.
iBoy using the Gale Force forward there. That's what it takes. Leyan on the wing as well. This fight could be legendary, but for LNG, they've been making sure they do their due diligence with their vision, but this time Leyan's not going to be spotted on the ward. LNG in the middle as well. Into the back line, that's Zorah's ulti. Leyan coming in real slow as Ale already picks up the kill. Supreme Display of Talent hits only one into LvMao on the back line. LNG kiting back, and this could be great as Doinb is still sending him out. RA tried so hard for the flank, but they've thrown it all away. Li Ning come through in the end. They will not be defeated here today and make a miracle comeback against RA.
LNG might look shaky so far in the LPL, but they are still able to pull out the wins. Don't want to be stepping up with a big performance. Tarzan as well. I mean, Tarzan was stealing things left and right, man. This guy was insane.
Lyric, this is the way to finish the night. This is the way to finish the series. LNG will remain undefeated, but it was shaky to say the least for the new Doinb Tarzan roster.
Look, LNG won. Tarzan's going to pick up MVP. It is now 8 a.m. where I live, so thanks LNG for finishing it off. And sadly, for the side of Rare Adam, we talked about how much a lot of their fights hinged on one of those key abilities landing and then chaining it into, you know, the follow-up from the rest. Sadly, they weren't able to find it, especially in that last engage where we could see Zorah's ult not really hitting anyone. I think maybe it locked down LvMao. Supreme Display